Crazy to think that the first season of the Halo television series has come to an end. The question is, though, did it deliver? Well, it's definitely an episode. We finally got the Halo theme for all of 10 seconds, but we have a lot to talk about, so let's just get into it. After all this sexiness and Spartan on Spartan action that we got in the previous episode, it's obviously going to be hard to top that, right? Right? We last saw Chief get beat down by Vanek and Silver Team, with Maquis touching the artifact, giving her a chance to escape. I really thought and felt things should have gone differently here with this week's episode after all the events that took place last week, but alas, they did not. And now I was having trouble getting excited for this episode after last week's. The issues I have with John's portrayal and the lack of real Covenant on UNSC action was worrying me that this episode would not deliver. And to a point, I wasn't wrong. This episode really is pretty fast-paced for nearly an hour-long episode. Silver Team reconciles in like 3.5 seconds when John, Captain Keyes, Kai tell Vanek and Riz about being abducted as children. They attempt to stop not only Maquis, but also stop Halsey from escaping Reach. Now, Kai runs off to stop Halsey while the other three go to stop Maquis. Now, they are unsuccessful in stopping Maquis. However, Kai has a little interaction with Halsey. She breaks onto the ship, causes the ship to wreck. Halsey escapes on a pod. Kai survives. They then decide to head to a location where Maquis said the Covenant home planet was. Parangoski then tells John that he needs to push away his emotions and focus on the task at hand. There is no more John, just Master Chief, basically. They leave, and while on their trip to this Covenant planet, Cortana then kind of tells John about Halsey's plan in allowing Cortana to overtake his body and mind, kind of creating the ultimate Spartan soldier. When they finally get to this planet where Maquis is, the Covenant are all discussing the artifacts and decide to activate it, combining the two, which reveals a map to the Halo. Now, there is a battle here, which I was really expecting to see a battle in this final episode, but I don't know, it was pretty lame, actually. Riz gets badly injured here, and Chief, because of everything going on and him not being able to save both Silver Team and get the artifacts back, allows Cortana to take over his mind and body, and she pretty much just wrecks shop on all the Covenant that are there. So, I mean, that's essentially what happens there. Over on Reach, Halsey is captured after she escapes, or she gets off of her escape pod. It's then revealed that it was just a Flash clone that was captured, and the real Halsey is actually escaping Reach, which I thought was a pretty cool little twist there I didn't see coming. I gotta say, I'm pretty disappointed as a whole when it comes to this episode. I think this was a perfect opportunity to show the fall of Reach, and they just didn't do it. I think this would have been like a big Empire Strikes Back type of moment where all seemed lost, and the next season could be jumping into how can they recover from this. Of course, that doesn't mean that they're not going to do the Fall of Reach next season. I just feel like that is like an end of season type of event that would have been pretty cool to see, because you would have had Chief leaving Reach just as it's being destroyed, and I think he should have gone to the Halo ring, and then that whole second season could have been about the part of Silver Team still on Reach fighting off the Covenant while Master Chief is at the Halo, and neither of them really knowing what's going on. But again, the writing on this show just doesn't get the Halo lore and get everything that's going on, I guess. We get the wacky ass battle with the Silver Team and Covenant, and it basically shows a version of the popular game type firefight is essentially what they're doing there. And I guess it was cool to an extent, but the poor CGI, the ridiculous decisions that the elite zealots make here, and then, they just run blindly to the Spartans. They have no concept of tactics or anything. They just run blindly, and a lot of them don't even look like they have weapons. Kind of bizarre. And then you have the uninteresting and predictable story that gave no urgency or tension. It just wasn't all that great. The Halsey thing, like I said, the Halsey reveal, I didn't see coming. She outsmarted the UNSC and everybody else, which is a very Halsey type of thing to do. So I did like that. And what the hell, guys? This was a perfect opportunity for them to kill the Prophets. The Prophets were just hanging out at that battle the entire time while you have 4 Spartans sitting there. One of them could have looked up and said, maybe we should kill these people in the golden thrones that are floating above us. But none of them did that, which I kind of thought was ridiculous, really, honestly. The big brute is, according to some, actually Atriox. I thought it was going to be Tartarus, but I guess a lot of people are saying it is Atriox. He reappears here, almost killing Chief to cause, I guess, tension. I don't know. We knew Chief wasn't going to die here. There was a lot of ridiculousness with this episode, and just something felt off. I'm not really sure what it was. Finally, Master Chief, who is controlled by Cortana. I look at this, and it feels like this was them trying to rectify him taking off the helmet and not being the stoic Spartan soldier that he is in the video games, because it's kind of what they did with him, and that's how they portrayed him here. I thought it was kind of bizarre, if you ask me. I really don't know at this point what to think about the show. I am probably going to do a quick video maybe early next week once I gather all my thoughts on this and just really talk about the season as a whole. There's so much potential with this lore. I was fine with them changing some things a little bit and going in a new direction. I was okay with that, but the last few episodes just really bogged it down for me. And we haven't seen the ring yet. I mean, a show called Halo, and we're 8 episodes in and we haven't seen the ring yet. What is with that? I am hopeful that the writers and the producers hear the backlash and the outcry from the fans here, and maybe they will adjust accordingly. But since season 2 was greenlit a number of months ago, it's pretty easy to imagine that they most likely have a lot of it already put to paper, and they're pretty far into production with at least the scripts. So we may not see that change come for some time if it continues past season 2. But with all that, guys, anyways, what are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments below what you thought of the final episode of season 1 of Halo. What have you thought about the series as a whole? Let us know. Make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe. And with all that said, guys, talk to all of you later.